And my mic's been muted this whole time. What's up, guys? It's my last day of being on the road for the next several days. I'm going to set this down here. We're about to get snowed in. Come on, stupid thing. Come on. I should do this before I go live. Trying to set the camera up so I don't have to hold it through the whole video. There we go. So, yeah, we're getting snowed in. Coming in tonight, I think. So, I will be offline for the next several days. My internet connection at the house is not good, so you probably won't see Duke Bothers around much for the next few days, except maybe in the comments section. But even then, if I'm watching somebody's video or live stream, if it's a live stream, I'm not going to be able to get it because all it does is buffer the whole time. So it's going to suck. It's going to be a rough couple of days, but we're getting the blizzard in tonight. I think at like 2 or 3 in the morning. We're getting down to record temperatures for my area. We're going to be at, I think wind chill was like negative 21 or something like that on Sunday night. So it's going to get bad. It's going to get icy, going to get snowy. So it's my last day on the road today. Wanted to drop by and had a request to make this video, so I'm going to go ahead and do it while I got the time and give you guys something to watch if you guys get snowed in too. But I'm going to drop a link later once I get done talking about this. But this is something that has been on my mind for quite some time, and I haven't really talked about it much, but I'm going to do that in this video. As always, I got my water on tap. Today's video is brought to you by Great Value Purified Drinking Water. If you are going to be in a blizzard, you need to stay hydrated. If you need water, look no further. Great Value Purified Drinking Water. It has rich flavor enhancing minerals to make your water experience good. I don't know. Is that Lizzie Freak? What's up, man? Good to see you. Welcome to my live stream. I've been doing these lately. And I'm going to talk about why I miss Texas Stadium today. And this is something that I don't know if Cowboys fans have really talked about much, but guys, I miss Texas Stadium. I do. The day that the kid was pressing the button to implode the stadium, I was almost in tears. Matter of fact, I was in tears, actually. I was yelling at the screen, "Kid, don't press that button. Don't destroy my stadium, man." Oh, it was heartbreaking. It was like losing a friend. Six Things says in southern Louisiana it's going to be 20 below freezing, which is very rare. That's unbelievable. You guys stay safe down there, man. We're going to stay cooped in the house for the next 3 days. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not doing anything. But here's the thing about Texas Stadium. I used to go to at least 2 or 3 Cowboys games every year in Texas Stadium. Our family tradition was to go to every Thanksgiving Day game. So from at least 1998, probably before that, but the first one I remember was 98. We would go to every Thanksgiving Day game. So we would go down, and we lived in Missouri. You guys know, I've said that before. We lived in Springfield, Missouri. So what we would do is we would drive down there on the Wednesday, and we stayed. There was a La Quinta Inn over on Northwest Highway. We'd stay there every year. Nothing changed. They expected us there. And, in the mornings, we would go next door to the IHOP or wherever the IHOP was and eat breakfast. If we had the late game, we would watch the Lions game on the TV and head out to Texas Stadium. And when we got to Texas Stadium, of course, Jerry gave us tickets. He always gave us tickets. He gave us parking passes. So we were able to park literally right next to the entrance of the stadium. And if you remember Texas Stadium, you know that the only thing that was really blocking the entrance to Texas Stadium was a chain link fence. I mean, that was really it. You had a little chain link fence. And I remember one time the fence was dummy locked, and my dad took me over to the stadium just to look at it one day. And he locked his keys in his car. And the stadium was dummy locked, so I just literally opened the gate and just ran onto the field. I was running up and down the field for quite some time. You can't do that in this new stadium. You just can't do it. And Texas Stadium, it's got the pro shops, everything like that. There was, if you guys remember, there was a ramp that used to go into the stadium, right? And there were chain link fences on both sides of the ramp. That's where the players would drive their cars into the stadium. So we used to go to the stadium early. Like, we would go 2 or 3 hours before kickoff. And I remember I used to watch Michael Irvin in his black Mercedes driving into the stadium. And then Deion Sanders had a silver convertible. I forgot what kind it was. But he would drive into the stadium. And we were literally like the chain link fence between us and all these guys driving into the stadium. We used to yell at them. We used to cheer for them as they walked in. Like, it was amazing, dude. I remember one time Deion Sanders was drinking a Gatorade in his car, and it was a convertible, so he drank the Gatorade, and then he chucked it into a garbage bin right next to where I was sitting. And all these guys just like ran to the garbage bin just to get the Gatorade bottle that Deion Sanders drank out of. I mean, it was crazy. DFW says, I lived 10 minutes from where the old stadium was in Irving. I've driven by there a few times. I can't handle it. It's still, I'm emotional about it to this day. But, it was amazing just to see the players driving into the stadium. And we used to cheer them on. We used to talk to them. Sometimes they'd stop and sign autographs or shake your hand. It was a big deal. And I remember, like, the Monday night games, the Monday night bus used to pull into the parking lot right in front of where we were. And I would watch John Madden, walking out of the bus. Whoever was doing the games, I used to watch them walk out of the bus. And it literally took us maybe 3 minutes to get from our vehicle to the stadium. Like, it was that fast. We just pulled up, got out. I mean, I remember we were like 5 rows back from the entrance of the stadium. That was it. And we would just walk right in. It was great. I mean, it was awesome. You could throw a football from our vehicle to the stadium. That's how close you were. And it was unbelievable. But let me tell you, well, you know what? I'll say this. The new stadium, you got none of that. None of that. It's gone now. I don't know where the players go into the stadium now. I really don't. I have no clue of it. I know they got to drive in from somewhere, but I don't know. Maybe Jerry has a teleportation device where he teleports those cars in. I don't know. I don't know how they get in there now. But I know for sure that you have to do more than cross a chain link fence to get into that stadium. I mean, they've got security out the wazoo out there, which that's not a bad thing. But my wife was ticked off because she had to get rid of her purse when I took her to the game that Lizzie Freak went with us to. I think it was that game. It was either that game or the Texans game where she had to get rid of her purse because you couldn't see through it. She was mad about that. I had to buy her a new purse. But, and as far as parking goes in the new stadium, I have not found a parking spot that is less than 20 minutes away walking. I haven't. I mean, I've got videos. I think I may have put them on private. I'll go look. But I've got videos of me going live, walking from my parking lot to the stadium, and the videos are like 45 minutes long. I mean, you've got to really be in shape because you're going to have to park. Even the actual lots, like the Dallas Cowboys parking is, 6 blocks away or 7 blocks away, and you're paying for a parking pass? I would rather pay $20 or even find a free spot and go a couple blocks later, and pay somebody to drive me up to the stadium. Because parking is ridiculous. You can't get anywhere near the stadium. I went there 2 years ago. I remember was the parking lot next to the stadium is way higher than the field. Oh, yeah. Yep. So, Texas Stadium. I'm envisioning my memories right now as I'm talking to you. And I'm telling you what, man. I wish my son could feel this. When I walked into that stadium as a kid, up until the last season of it, I loved everything about the stadium, but the first thing I wanted to do, every time I went to a Cowboys game, the first thing I wanted to do, I didn't want to go to the food concessions, I didn't want to go to the restrooms, I didn't even want to buy a program. The first thing I wanted to do is walk into that stadium and go look at the field. That's it. I just wanted to walk right in, and of course we sat on the 50-yard line, so it was like when you walk in and you look down and boom, there's the field. And you'll have a player or two out there practicing, throwing footballs around, kicking whatever. They're playing music. They're playing. Gosh, what are they playing? Van Halen. They played Van Halen out there. Jump. They played. Let's see. They played some Tupac. I remember. They played just great music, and it wasn't loud. I mean, it was, you could hear it, but it wasn't like blaring. It wasn't like a Mike Moss show. You know what I mean? It wasn't blaring loud. It was just like, you're sitting in your chair, you're chilling, listening to some good music, watching some players warm up, watching the field, having a good time. You know what I mean? It was chill. I loved it. And the whole time we're there, the only thing I'm worried about is what's happening on that field. I remember, like, the greatest memories I have as being a Dallas Cowboy fan are watching guys like Dan Marino and Peyton Manning and John Elway, Steve Young, Tom Brady. I mean, the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game, I watched them play in that stadium. And I remember watching Dexter Coakley, my favorite Cowboy of all time, picking off Dan Marino twice. I remember watching Deion Sanders returning punts, and he would dance around like a moron before the punt even happened. Like, he would try to pump the crowd up. He would dance around, go all crazy, and we loved it. That was fun. And I remember the camaraderie, man. I remember having fans all around me that are passionate, diehard Dallas Cowboys fans that are screaming and yelling. Texas Stadium was nuts. I mean, because Cowboys fans were everywhere. Texas Stadium was insane. I mean, I remember doing the wave when that was a thing. I remember everything that we did. Like, we were all into it. But it was all about the game. It was all about what was on the field. If you wanted to see the scores of a different game, you had to look in the far end zone. There was this little bitty ticker underneath one of the suites that you could read the scores from the other games. That's how you knew what was going on in the league. That was it. And the scoreboard was this big blue square with light bulbs screwed into it. I was so old school, man. That was our scoreboard. There was no Jumbotron. We didn't have a Jerrytron in that stadium, because it was about the Dallas Cowboys. It was about the team. It was about the football. And I miss that. The Dallas Cowboys players, they were the show. Like, when we walked in, we wanted to get our binoculars and we wanted to look at players and say, hey, look over there. That's Tony Romo. Hey, look, there's DeMarcus Ware. Oh, here comes Deion. Here comes Emmett. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we cared about. Fast forward to AT&T Stadium, the Jerry Dome. Here's my experience at AT&T Stadium. The coolest experience I have at the stadium was before the game when we walked in with Lizzie Freak and we grabbed some barbecue and some drinks and hung out for a while. That was the coolest experience I've had at AT&T Stadium. That was awesome. I missed it. That was amazing. AT&T Stadium, you walk up to it after about 20 minutes of walking because you had to park, 15 blocks away. You walk up to the stadium and you can already see the bright lights and the neon lights, and you can hear the drum lines from the parking lot. You walk up to it and it's all about the spectacle. There are giant speakers everywhere, LED lights, flashy speakers. There's cheerleaders out front. There's always a concert going on out in front of the stadium. They've got fountains. They've got bushes. They've got art. They've got artwork all over the stadium. Artwork, they call it. They've got everything that they could possibly have to distract you from what's going on the field. You walk into the stadium, they've got, $20 margaritas. They have a Jumbotron that's bigger than the city that I live in. They have, like I said, LED displays everywhere, loud music, strippers, drum lines. The cheerleaders are standing on the end zones right now. So if you're sitting behind the end zones in the front row, you're looking at cheerleaders more than you're looking at the game. And I don't think that's an accident, by the way, but that's just my opinion. Everything that they have is distracting from what's on the field. When you go to AT&T Stadium now, it's about the experience. It's about pulling out your cell phones, going onto Instagram, going, look at me. I'm at AT&T Stadium. I'm at Jerry World. Look at me. I'm at a Dallas Cowboys game. I wonder how many followers I'll get if I post this. I wonder how many likes on my YouTube channel I'll get because I'm sitting in AT&T Stadium right now. And by the way, I'm not wearing a Cowboys jersey. I'm wearing a suit and a tie. I'm wearing a button-up polo because I'm somebody. I'm important. It's a status symbol now. Why do you think when we play somebody like I'll say Pittsburgh. When we play somebody from Pittsburgh, why do you think their jerseys seem like there's more of them than there are Cowboys jerseys in the stands? Why do you think that is? Because Joe Blow over here that's a Cowboys fan doesn't want to pay $1,000 to go to a game. So he stays home. Meanwhile, you've got Mr. Moneybags that has season tickets and has had them for a couple of years now. He's going off and he's saying, I wonder how many Steelers fans I can sell my tickets to make some money. That's what's going on. So you're getting fans of other teams coming into our stadium, packing it out, and we don't do anything about it because we're still making money. We're still making money. Jerry's got to pay that thing off. I mean, we're still making money. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. AT&T Stadium is about the spectacle, and it's all about the money. That's it. That's it. Texas Stadium was about the football. It was about the team. And there was history there. There was a lot of history there. Some of the greatest players to ever play in the NFL played in that stadium. What's up, Lady Steel? What's up, Sharker Tim? Banter, what's going on, guys? There were greats that played in that stadium. This stadium doesn't have history. How many playoff games have we won since AT&T Stadium was built? How many great players from the Dallas Cowboys have played in AT&T Stadium? I remember going to the first game in AT&T Stadium, and we got beat by the New York Giants, and Eli Manning wrote the date on the wall and signed it. It's a bad start. It's a bad start. Last game we played in Texas Stadium, we got blown out by the Ravens. That was sad. But I've got to give Jerry credit. I bought a party pass ticket. First game in that new stadium, we played the Giants. I bought a party pass ticket. Before that, Oklahoma Sooners played the BYU Cougars in that stadium before the Cowboys ever played there, and I bought a ticket there. I got that video on here somewhere, and I got a party pass ticket. If you get a party pass ticket and you're not in the first 2 or 3 rows, you're going to be standing way back in the back, and you can't even see the field. You got to look up at the Jumbotron, and you're going to be sitting here going, wait a minute, did I come here to see this field? Or did I come here to see the Jumbotron? I got a TV at home, man. What am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, why am I paying, what is it, $60 to buy a party pass ticket so I can look up at this screen? Like, why? What's the point? But Jerry's making money on it. There was a guy with that Giants game that he was security, and he had, security shirts, the neon green security shirts with the pants. He had the headset on. He had the hat that said security. He was security. And there was a guy in the front, I guess, who was acting up. So the security guy is at the very back. And if you remember the Giants game, the first game we ever played in that new stadium, that place was packed. Fire marshal had to close the doors because it was packed. So if you could imagine the whole standing room being completely full of people, there's probably a video on YouTube showing people rushing in. So what you go back to you're back in the very back of all these people, and there's this security guy trying to get to the front. So he's weaving his way between everybody to get to the front where this guy's at. And then when he gets to the front, he pulls off the security shirt. He's got a Cowboys jersey on underneath it. That guy was a genius. I'm surprised he didn't get his lights knocked out. I'm surprised that nobody decked him. And then people would drink their beers, and then they would just keep the bottles because nobody wants to go to the restroom. You're going to lose your spot. Standing room only. You know what I mean? So Bottles are free. The stuff in the bottles isn't free, but the bottles are free. Might as well keep them and use them. You know, that's what this stadium's about. Record attendance that night. And you know, I love that we have a place where we could host a Super Bowl. We're hosting WrestleMania, not this year, but next year. We have great concerts, you know, all kinds of awesome events at this stadium. I love that. That's great. But when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, Texas Stadium, in my mind, was better. And really, it's not even close. In my mind. In my mind, it's better. But that's just me. Let me go ahead and do this, guys. Give me a second. 1 second. Let me go ahead and put the link in here and open this thing up. But that's pretty much why I like Texas Stadium more than AT&T Stadium. I haven't been to a game since Amari Cooper's first game in Dallas, which was a Monday nighter against Houston. Haven't been to any Cowboys games since then. Of course, I don't think anybody really went this year, but, you know, I might go next year. I don't know. I haven't decided. I want to take my son to a game, but, you know, that's a lot. It's a lot. So, yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, nothing's going to replace Texas Stadium. And Texas Stadium, you know, I could walk all the way down to the first row of seats. No, it didn't matter where I was. I could go down to the first row of seats, and I could flag down Stephen Jones or Jerry Jones, and I could say, hey, hook me up with a sideline pass, and boom, he'd get me on the field just like that. All I got to do is walk around. There's a little bitty section for handicapped people. You can walk in there, and then there's a small gate, and they open the gate. You walk down, boom, you're on the field. Just that easy. That's all it is. So I used to get sideline. I got pictures of some of the sideline pictures I took. But, you know, this new stadium never had a sideline pass. I don't even think you can get to the sideline unless you go some crazy. I don't even know how to get there, honestly. I have no clue. I've never been that far down. I've been in Party Pass. I've been in, you know, the sections I sat with Lizzie Freak, man. I've been there. But other than that, I haven't really been down there, like as far as getting close to the field in this new stadium. I haven't been there. And that spectacle is just not there for me. It's not. It's all about the stadium. It's all about the money. It's all about the show. Got nothing to do with the football team. And that's the problem, not only with AT&T Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. That's also the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, let's face it. We haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995. We've been decently competitive since then a few times. But, you know, we just haven't been that good. We haven't even sniffed an NFC Championship game in 25 years. But yet the Dallas Cowboys merchandise still sells. And everybody's still talking about Dak Prescott right now. We're still the most valuable franchise in all of sports, even though we haven't done anything in 25 years. Do you think that's an accident? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think that our ownership, again, personal friends, love them. I think they care about the almighty dollar. They care about filling those seats and paying off that stadium. I mean, if they really knew what they were doing and really cared about the NFL and about succeeding and winning, they would have signed Dak last year. You know what I mean? There's so many things they would have done differently. Like Jerry Jones was so much more aggressive back then than he is now. What has he really done? What aggressive moves has he made? You know what I mean? he doesn't have that fire. He doesn't have that passion. Unfortunately, I don't think Jerry Jr. or Steven have it either. I really don't. And I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to give you your pick. All right, that's cool, Tim. Hey, yeah, for sure. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I'll be able to get into live streams, but I'll try. If you go live one of these days, I'll try to get in there, but it just buffers for me. The whole time I'm in there, it just buffers. So I may join you guys in chat in a couple of live streams later, but I can't really watch them. Six Things brings up a really, really good point that I kind of wanted to mention, but I totally forgot until that comment. So thank you. Let me highlight that. Let me highlight that comment. I do think it's hilarious how Now let me think of who. Let me think of who it was. Who was it that did this? There was a former defensive player for the Chiefs, and I can't remember which one it was. I want to say it was a lineman, but I could be wrong. But he said that the Chiefs are now America's team. I remember when the Patriots thought they were America's team. I remember when the Packers thought they were America's team. It's funny. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. But we all know that there can only be one America's team. That's just the way it is. You know, every team can sit here and say, oh, we're America's team now. But you're not. Yeah, I don't think they understand what America's team really means. I don't think they get. They think that America's team just means, oh, well, everybody's watching us. We're on the spotlight. We're winning. They think that's what America's team means. No, 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 no. That's not what America's team means. They don't understand the meaning behind America's team. Let me tell you why the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. This will be another tidbit to this video. Why are the Dallas Cowboys America's team? Here is why. Yes, we do go to every stadium in the league. We have homes away from home. Yes, it does not matter where you go, you will find a Dallas Cowboys fan somewhere. Everywhere you go. I've been to, 20 states, something like that. I've seen a Cowboy fan, every single one of them. I've been out of the United States. I've seen Cowboys. I went to Cancun wearing my Emmitt Smith jersey. As soon as I got off the plane, the first person to come up to me said, I'm Emmitt Smith. Like, he loved the Cowboys. Do you know what I mean? Like, Cowboys fans are everywhere. Everywhere. That's not why we're America's team. It's not because we get national exposure, which we do. We get more national exposure than any team in the league. Let's be honest. ESPN talks about us more than anybody. Stephen A. Smith runs his mouth and says what he gets paid to say. I don't believe in Stephen A. Smith a bit. I think he's a total fraud. But he says what they pay him to say, and he does a great job of it. We get lots of national exposure. Our games are always prime time, even when we suck. You know, we're always on Monday Night Football. We never have been flexed until last year out of Sunday night. And that was a mistake, by the way. We get national exposure all the time. That's not why we're America's team. It's not. We're not America's team because we are the most valuable franchise in all of sports. That's not why we're America's team. Let me tell you why we're America's team. Also, it's not because Jerry Jones licenses his own merchandise. Some people don't know this. If you go into a sports store, okay, that sells everyone, it sells every team in the league, it sells baseball, basketball, NFL, and they've got, you know, cups and the flags you put on your car, and they've got the trash cans and jerseys. I don't know if it's still the same today as it was, but I remember the last time I was in a store like that, I was looking for jerseys, and I looked at every single jersey, no Dallas Cowboys jerseys at all. Jerry won't let them sell them because he licenses his own merchandise. He makes a lot of money doing it because Dallas Cowboys brand. The reason why we are America's team is because of all of those things combined. No team in any sport can claim all of those things to be true about their team. I'm talking about the national exposure, the media attention, fans everywhere, fans across the country, fans in other countries, licensing your own merchandise, having the greatest brand in all of professional sports, and having fans everywhere. No other team can say that. You can't. Sorry. The Dallas Cowboys are America's team because that's the brand. This star is the most iconic logo in all the sports. All of sports. Mainly because it's just a star. I mean, I'm not saying that to be derogatory. I'm saying it's a star. Like, it's a shape. You know, the Dolphins logo is a dolphin. I'm looking at Trucker Tim's deal. The Dolphins logo is a little blue dolphin with a big orange, whatever the hell you call that little thing. And then Jordan Dog's got his favorite team, the Buccaneers, on there, and that's a flag with a skull and crossbones and a football on it. Those are pretty complicated logos. Ours is just a star. It's simple. It's easy. And it's really easy to replicate. You see, Jerry Jones has patented this, or he has the copyright on this. But if you just make a hat with a blue star on it, you're good. You're good. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to do. It's simple. But I wanted to go live with you guys because I wanted to make this video while I had time, just to let you know why I miss Texas Stadium. And guys, I want to give another shout out before I end this real quick. My man Lizzie Freak. This guy right here is an absolutely incredible dude. One of the coolest people I have ever met on here. And that's 15 years of YouTube. And Lizzie Freak is up there. One of the coolest cats I've ever met on here. Was able to meet him in person, go to a game not too awful long ago, before we got married. By the way, Lizzie, you know, happily married now, 2 kids. Life is going great. Hope you're doing well, brother. Cheers. This one's for you. Mosh drinks beer, Duke drinks water. That's how we do. But I'm going to cut this short, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go home, head to the house. Got a baby boy to see. Hopefully get some Oklahoma Sooner basketball tonight. See what happens. Duke Fathers, love you guys. Thank you for stopping by. I will try to be in comment sections in chat, but that's all I can do for the weekend. So, you know, maybe I'll see you guys around somewhere. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon. Stay safe, stay warm, and if you're in an area like me that's about to get hit by a blizzard, stay inside unless you absolutely have to leave. Every county in Oklahoma is under a state of emergency right now because of what's about to hit. So you guys just be careful out there, man. Be safe. I want to see all of you guys next week sometime. Trucker Tim, be good, man. Lizzie, be good. Y'all have a good day. I am out. I guess that's all I got to say, man. We'll see y'all later. Y'all take care. Go Cowboys, baby.